Did you know your muscles are literally tearing themselves apart when you work out? It may sound extreme, but it's the truth. Each time you pump iron or sprint on the treadmill, you're causing microscopic damage to your muscle fibers. This process, known as muscle hypertrophy, is the first step in muscle growth. Now, if the idea of tearing your muscles apart sounds a bit alarming, don't worry. It's actually a crucial part of the muscle building process. When you exercise, especially during resistance or strength training, your muscle fibers endure a lot of stress. This stress causes small tears in the muscle fibers, which then need to be repaired. This is where protein enters the picture. Protein, composed of essential amino acids, is the building block of your muscles. When you consume protein, your body breaks it down into these amino acids, which are then dispatched to repair the damaged muscle fibers. This process of repair and rebuilding is what leads to muscle growth. The more strenuous the workout, the more damage is done, and the more protein is needed for repair and growth. But the role of protein doesn't stop at muscle repair. It also stimulates muscle protein synthesis, the process by which your body creates new muscle proteins. If you're consistently providing your body with enough protein, you're ensuring a positive muscle protein balance, where muscle protein synthesis exceeds muscle protein breakdown. And that, my friends, is how muscle growth happens. So, you see, protein is the unsung hero of muscle growth. It's not just about lifting weights and doing reps. It's about giving your body the resources it needs to repair, rebuild, and grow. And those resources come in the form of protein-rich foods like lean meats, poultry, eggs, and dairy products, or from protein supplements. So, if you're tearing your muscles apart in the gym, you better be building them back up in the kitchen. Because without enough protein, all that hard work might just go to waste. And that's a surprising fact about protein and muscle growth. Meet John. A year ago, he could barely lift a gallon of milk. Today, he's deadlifting twice his body weight. John wasn't always the muscle-bound figure you'd imagine. A year back, he was just an average guy struggling to get through his gym sessions. Every day was a battle against the weights, and the weights always seemed to win. John was stuck in a rut, his progress stalled, his motivation dwindling. But then, John stumbled upon a piece of information that would transform his life. He discovered the vital role of protein in muscle growth. He learned that protein wasn't just a part of his diet, it was the foundation of his muscle-building journey. With this newfound knowledge, John began to change his eating habits. He started incorporating more protein into his diet, from lean meats and dairy to legumes and nuts. He even started using protein supplements to ensure he was getting enough every day. And then, something magical happened. John started to see changes. His muscles began to grow. His strength increased. The weights that once seemed immovable now felt lighter. The transformation was remarkable. John was no longer the average guy struggling at the gym. He was becoming the athlete he'd always dreamed of being. But John's journey wasn't just about the physical transformation. It was also about a shift in mindset. John realized that building muscle wasn't just about the hours spent lifting weights. It was also about what he did outside the gym. It was about feeding his body the right nutrients, giving it the building blocks it needed to grow and repair. John's story is a testament to the power of protein. It's a story of how understanding the role of nutrition can unlock our body's potential. It's a story that reminds us that building muscle isn't just about lifting weights, but also about lifting forks loaded with protein. John's transformation wasn't just about lifting weights, it was about lifting forks loaded with protein. But how exactly does eating a chicken breast help you build a bicep? Well, let's break it down, shall we? When we eat protein-rich foods like chicken, fish, or even a protein shake, our bodies go to work. They start by breaking down the proteins into their core components, known as amino acids. Think of these as the building blocks of all proteins. These amino acids are then absorbed into the bloodstream and transported throughout the body. When they reach your muscles, they get to work repairing and rebuilding the muscle fibers that were damaged during your workout. This process is known as muscle protein synthesis. Now you might be wondering, why does exercise damage the muscles in the first place? Well, when we work out, especially when we're lifting weights or doing high-intensity exercises, we create tiny tears in our muscle fibers. This is a normal part of the process, and in fact, it's this damage that signals the body to start muscle protein synthesis. The body's response to this damage is to repair and strengthen the muscle fibers, making them bigger and stronger than before. This is how we build muscle. The amino acids provided by the protein we consume play a crucial role in this process. They not only provide the raw materials for repair, but also stimulate more muscle protein synthesis than the body would naturally do on its own. But here's the catch: your body is constantly breaking down proteins as well, in a process known as muscle protein breakdown. To build muscle effectively, the rate of muscle protein synthesis needs to be greater than the rate of muscle protein breakdown. This is where a steady intake of protein throughout the day comes in. It helps maintain a positive balance, where synthesis outpaces breakdown, leading to muscle growth. So, protein isn't just food, it's the raw material your body uses to build muscle. So you're convinced you need more protein. But how much is enough? Well, let's break it down. It's generally recommended for individuals looking to build muscle to consume between 1.2 and 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. That's right, your protein intake isn't just a random number. It's tied directly to your body weight and your activity level. But don't just take it from me. This is backed by science. Researchers have found that this range of protein intake helps maintain a positive muscle protein balance. This is where muscle protein synthesis, the process of building new muscle, exceeds muscle protein breakdown. It's like a construction site where the builders outnumber the demolishers. But here's another crucial thing to remember. Don't cram all your protein intake into one meal. It's like trying to build a house in one day. It's just not practical. Instead, spread your protein intake throughout the day to support consistent muscle protein synthesis. Think of it as laying one brick at a time, steadily building that house. Monitoring your protein intake can seem daunting, but it doesn't have to be. There are plenty of apps and tools out there that can help you track your daily protein consumption. You don't have to be a math whiz or a nutritionist to figure it out. And remember, while protein is important, it's not the only thing that matters when it comes to muscle growth. A balanced diet, regular exercise, and adequate rest are also vital parts of the equation. So, start paying attention to your protein intake. Start laying those bricks, and don't forget to take a step back and appreciate the house you're building. Because muscle growth isn't just about the destination, it's also about the journey. Remember, building muscle is a marathon, not a sprint, and protein is your running fuel. So whether you're a seasoned athlete or just starting out, protein is your ally in muscle growth. It's time to understand the power of protein and how it can steer you on the path to greater muscle growth. We've journeyed through the surprising facts about protein and muscle growth and explored the personal journey of muscle development. We've dove deep into the science that backs all of this up, and now we're here, ready to take action. Protein, as we've learned, is more than just a nutrient. It's the building block of our muscles, the fuel for our workouts, and the magic ingredient that aids in recovery and repair. It's the cornerstone of muscle growth and strength, and it's a key player in our overall physical performance. But how do we ensure we're getting enough of this muscle-building superstar? The answer is simple. We incorporate it into our diet. From lean meats and poultry to fish, eggs, and dairy products, the possibilities are endless. For our vegetarian and vegan friends, fear not. Legumes, nuts, and seeds are also packed with protein. And let's not forget about protein supplements, a convenient way to meet those daily protein needs, especially for those with a higher protein requirement. Remember, the recommended protein intake for muscle growth ranges from 1.2 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, depending on your activity level and goals. It's all about balance and consistency. Spread your protein intake throughout the day to keep that muscle protein synthesis humming along nicely. So, no matter where you are in your fitness journey, remember this. Protein is your friend. It's there to support you, to fuel you, and to help you grow stronger. So take a page out of John's book. Eat your protein, build your muscles, and watch your strength soar.